One thing I think we need. Oh, there's a car coming. Hello. Oh, it wasn't that loud. Good afternoon. It's a lovely spring day here in Houston, Texas. If you've watched any of my live videos, I end the show with a mantra that I think is really important. I say, no matter what life throws at me, I have the ability to make this a fantastic day. And I've been thinking about it, and I've gotten a lot of comments and some private emails about, just how can we have a fantastic day no matter what life throws at us. So I thought I would start a new series called Fantastic Fridays, and just kind of give you my thoughts about what I think we could do to make our Fridays and our days a little more fantastic. There are 5 different things I try to remember each day as I go about my day, and I'm going to talk about them on Fantastic Fridays. So, the first one I'll talk about this week is love everyone and everything. Now, a lot of us have heard that before, and I've heard it a lot of my life, but it's been fairly recent that I kind of figured out what I think, how I can apply that in my own life. And one thing is you can see the good in other people. That's loving them. And unfortunately, I think what's happened is Hollywood, I call Hollywood, the entertainment industry or whoever's giving us input about how we're supposed to live our lives, has told us that love is only between, lovers or um, somebody we're dating or somebody we're married to, or you know things that we find enjoyable, things that we find pleasurable, that's then we can love that. But I think love is a much bigger concept than that. I think it goes beyond what's easy to love. It's easy to love a person you're in love with. It's easy to love a food that you find enjoyable, right? So, or an activity or a hobby. If you love a hobby or you enjoy a hobby, of course you're going to love it, right? But I think the concept of love is bigger than that. And one of the things we can do is we can see the good in other people. Sometimes that's harder, sometimes that's easier. It's hard to see the good in people when they're all in your face or they're being annoying or whatever. But if you take a moment in your thoughts and you really put yourself in their shoes and you really look for it, I think we can find good in other people a lot more often than we realize. And another thing we can do just to love everyone and everything is to be kind and gentle. We can be gentle. My mom used to say that to me when I was a kid because, when you're a kid, you have all this energy, right? And she would always come back to be gentle, you know, not calm down, but just be mindful of how much energy, that hug has, or when you're putting something down on the table or something, just be gentle. And that's always stuck with me. And I think that is a way of loving everyone and everything, is to be gentle with them. Be gentle, even if they're um, making you want to be more aggressive. Don't. Just stop and be gentle with that person or with that object or with that pet or whatever it is. So I think that's a really nice way to love everything and everyone. Another thing my mom taught me is to help without being asked. Because sometimes she would say, why didn't you do the dishes? I was a kid, so I'd say, well, you didn't tell me to, or you didn't ask me to. And she would always come back to, when you help people, help before they ask you. That's a way of showing love in a very pure way, I think, because when you help other people, you're looking for the good in them, you're helping them see the good in themselves. And waiting for them to ask, they may never ask because we don't know what they're going through. We don't know what's going on in their lives. Asking might be impossible for them. So, help people without being asked. And another thing is when people need to get something off their chest, just listen to them. Don't necessarily try to solve their problems. It's really easy to come up with a solution for somebody else because you're not in the mix, right? You're not experiencing the emotions they're feeling. So it's very easy to quickly come up with an opinion, but sometimes that's not what the person needs. Maybe they just need to talk, or maybe they just need to get it all out of their brain and onto, out into the world so that maybe they can find their own solution. But when they want help, it'll become very obvious. Like they'll say things like, "What do you think?" Or "Do you think I should do this?" Or "What's your opinion?" Anytime, it's been my opinion, anytime we offer up advice that's unsolicited, there's always resistance. If you offer up unsolicited advice to somebody, oftentimes, almost always, they're going to dig in their heels and argue for their own unhappiness. Another way we can love everything and everyone around us is to just appreciate the moment that we're in. Don't look backwards too much or look forward too much. We can just stay in the moment and we can appreciate that it's happening, even if it's something that's not necessarily comfortable. Maybe we're being challenged, but we can stay in that moment and look for what we're going to learn from the challenge. And I think that's a gentle, kind, loving way to approach a challenging situation or a good situation. Special times we spend with a loved one in the evenings might seem trite or it might seem unremarkable. But if we can get in the moment and really appreciate the peace or appreciate the fun or appreciate the meal that we're having or whatever it is we're experiencing, I think we have a much more loving approach to every moment of the day, so to speak. So anyway, those are just my thoughts. I think the foundation of having a fantastic day is to learn to love everyone and everything. And I don't mean falling in love with them at all. I hope that's obvious. I don't mean having a crush on everybody or falling in love with everybody, because there are a lot of unlovable people in our experience, right? There's people we don't want to have much to do with. But if we can be kind, we can be gentle, we can be helpful, I think we can have a much more loving experience as we go throughout our days. Okay, well, that wraps up my first fantastic Friday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel here. Please subscribe, like this video, leave a comment below and tell me how you have a fantastic day, because I'm always looking for new ways to have a better day. And say it with me, everyone. No matter what life throws at me, I have the ability to make this a fantastic day. All right, we'll see you next time.